Hello everyone, welcome to the first of hopefully many of my battle reports on this channel. Today is going to be Flames of War, and it's going to be late war, and we're going to be playing Armoured Fury. I will be playing as the Germans and we will be attacking, so let's have a little look at my force. Just one formation for this German army, and it is going to be a Fallschchrimjager STUG Company. We have 2 STUGs for the HQ, then we have 2 platoons of 4 STUGs, then we have the STUHs, so that's the howitzer variant of the STUGs, and there's 3 of them. Part of the formation as well is the Fallschchrimjager infantry, and there's a full platoon of them upgraded with Panzerfausts, and they also have 1 Panzerschreck team. In support we have 3 Panzer IVs and a light scout unit containing 2 5cm alt half tracks and 1 MG. So hopefully this army here can smash through to the objective before too many British can come in from reserve. This is the British force. These models are owned by Sherry Deacon, but will be used by my good friend Richard today. The force used consists of 2 formations. We have a Churchill Armoured Squadron and a Motor Company. So onto the Churchills. We have the HQ of 2 Churchills, 2 troops of 3 Churchills, 2 troops of Shermans, both containing 2 regular Shermans and 1 Firefly, and that is the Churchill Armoured Squadron done. The Motor Company has a HQ of 2 units, 2 full platoons of infantry, so that's 4 Bren gun rifle teams, a 2-inch knee mortar and a Piat. Also in the company are 3 universal carriers. In support are 4 M10 17-pounders and 4 25-pounders. Now that's 108 points, and what I forgot to mention with the German list is it also contains the Lucky command card, as well as the British as well commanding the Lucky command card. Now a bit on my opponent Richard. This is only his 2nd game of Flames of War, but I've played him several times in the Middle-earth strategy battle game, and he's a very careful, calculating player, so he doesn't tend to do anything wrong. So when you play him, you always need to be at the top of your game, or he will really wipe the floor with you. So I'm definitely really looking forward to this, and it's safe to say so is he. So let's have a little look at deployment. So here is deployment. German deployment have spearheaded up, and we have the Panzer IVs and the light scouts on the left flank. Here we have the British objectives, and what isn't in reserve for the German Fallschchrimjager are here. The British have deployed in their little pocket all around the objective. What we have in reserve are the Shermans and the M10s. There is 1 unit of Churchills in ambush. So there we have the objective there. The universal carriers spearheaded as much as they could to cover the extremely exposed objective. So we'll have a little look at what the Germans get up to in turn 1. So the infantry have moved up into the cover. Unfortunately I couldn't really get a good frontage for my firepower, so because I wanted them all concealed. The STUG and the HQ have moved by here. Panzer IVs have moved around this way, hopefully get some flanking shots. The light scouts have dashed up, and then I found out they were reluctant, so they failed their follow me test. So now it's turn 1. I'm going to have a little roll to see if my reserves come in. No. So German shooting, I thought I might get lucky with a few opening shots on this infantry platoon over here. Didn't get anything. The Panzer IVs though got a hit on every single one of these three Churchills by here, and Richard managed to bounce two of them, fail one, but then I failed my firepower, so that's a bit gutting. So now we're going into British turn 2. So the Universal Carriers have moved to cover the objective. Turns out there was more Churchills in the village. I didn't spot them. These Churchills have pivoted, but they also tried to sneak a few more inches with a blitz move, and they have failed. Everything else has remained stationary for the British, so we'll go into their shooting. So the Universal Carriers managed to bail out one of their scouts, and the Churchills in the distance managed to take out one half-track. The Panzer IVs took a bit of a beating as well, losing one, again one bailed. The infantry lost one stand, and also the 25 pounders have managed to range in on them, so I need to get them moving quite quickly. End of turn 2. So my lucky command card has already been burnt up to pass a remount for my scouts, because if I'd failed that, I doubt they would have stuck around. The Panzer IV has got back in and has positioned himself to do some cover firing. Look at this, got some reserves in. My HQ STUG has moved around to get some shots in, and my infantry, hopefully, have moved off that template. So now we will go into German shooting, turn 2. So, German shooting, with shots from the scouts and 2 Panzer IVs. I have bailed 2 Universal Carriers. I just cannot pass firepower tests. This Churchill here is testament to that, although I got a side shot on it, just a bail. I have ranged in my artillery on the infantry and pinned them down, and that is all I've done. And now we're on to British turn 2. The Universal Carriers have moved to contest the objective. The Churchills have successfully passed all their cross-checks. These Churchills are starting to react to the STUGs along the road.
Should have done it last turn.
And these infantry have moved into the woods to get some more shooting onto the Fallschchrimjager in the cover by here. So British turn shooting. So the light scouts are not looking very happy in the corner over here. There's another Panzer IV bailed over here. Churchills alternating their fire between the Panzer IVs and the newly arrived STUGs. My Fallschchrimjager are not having a good time. They're getting mowed down by a lot of British infantry, and I regret sending them out the way I did. But let's try and remedy the situation in German turn 3. Why didn't anyone tell me the scouts are reluctant? The Panzer IVs got back in and they did a blitz move, so quite happy with these boys at the moment. That first platoon of STUG reinforcements have moved up the road, while the new ones have come on. The HQ STUG has moved up to potentially do something in the woods with the infantry, while the artillery STUGs have a little look and see what's happening. So German turn shooting. So the Panzer IVs have actually ruffled the feathers of this Churchill HQ unit, killing one and bailing the other. Over here, this infantry platoon has been pinned and had a few bases killed by the artillery, and in the woods Richard's lost quite a few bases of infantry from the rifle teams, the STUGs, and a few other STUGs over here. So we're actually going to go into a German assault. German assault in phase, they got forced back with defensive fire, so the assault's over. British turn 3. The Universal Carriers have decided to move around the flank. One of the Churchills has moved up to take some shooting at the STUGs, and the formation command of the motor infantry have moved into the woods. So Richard's got really in for my Panzer IVs, he's ranged in on them and he's bailed 2 of them with the Churchills over here. All the other Churchills have concentrated their efforts on this platoon and they have killed one. So let's see if I can get some revenge in German turn 4. My Panzer IVs didn't get back in their tanks, but they did stick around. My STUGs are forming up on the edge of the forest here with the formation commander, and the other STUGs here are taking cover behind their friend. And I'm getting a lot less units to move in a turn, so on the shooting. My assaults are brutally short in this game by the fact that they never happen. Both STUGs failed to get into the woods, so it's up to our infantry team to run off next turn, I guess. Now into the British turn 5. So sorry, it's actually British turn 4, and believe it or not, a Churchill failed the cross check. Also, that happened in this turn, a Churchill failed a rally test, even with a reroll, and also that one-man rifle platoon also failed with a reroll. I wonder what the Universal Carriers are up to over here. These Churchills have moved up the road to fire down here, and now we're going to go into the British turn of shooting, and yet again no reserves, although next time I reckon at least one will come in, I don't know why. So the artillery re-ranged in and killed the Panzer IV, and the Churchills bailed out a STUG, and that is what happened in the British turn. So now we are actually on to turn 5 for the Germans. Okay, so the Panzer III stuck around and he blitzed up and he didn't kill anything. These STUGs fired at the Churchill HQ and did nothing. These boys here have moved up, and the other platoon has done a follow me order in order to assault these guys. I've ranged in over by there, and I luckily have managed to kill the Piat, which is the only one I really wanted to kill. So now I definitely think we are going to have an assault this turn. My luck with assaults continues. We had several turns of assaulting each other. I killed one infantry unit and he killed a STUG, but because I have to fall back, even with a reroll. Now we're into British turn 5, and they will be getting reserves this turn. The British ruled for all 3 of their reserves to come on. So here's the Shermans, the M10s, and the worst possible place, the other Shermans turn up there. And the Universal Carriers continue their movement over here. And now we're going to have a little cross check to see if the Churchill gets out of the crater. And we get a yes. Right, the only kill we got was on the Panzer IV, and that was from a Firefly. This unit here that, you know, got in, did all the hard work, did not hit anything. Oh no wait, sorry, they did, but their the front armour of the Stugs was just too good. So, German turn. Right, I didn't do any movement. My Stugs tried going for that HQ Churchill and nothing happened. These Stugs here though managed to kill 2 of them, which I'm very happy with, although he did roll a 6 for one of his armour saves, so Richard's still rolling his luck. These 2 units here shooted and scooted since some universal carriers have just turned up. So next turn I might actually have to shoot at them, which is a bit of a waste. But there we go, over to the British turn. The M10s are moving up the road, only 2 of them have tactical moved. These Shermans have dashed up. The Churchills are moving more onto the objective, and unfortunately the Shermans and the platoon of Motor Company have left, so that's leaving just 1, 2 left. And now we're on to British shooting, and it is still turn 6. Right, German movement. To recap British shooting, nothing happened. The Stugs have moved around to pick off the Churchill HQ. I'll take it if I can get him. Everything else has remained stationary, since they're not quite a threat yet, since they're not on the objective. And I'm really not looking forward to their M10s moving in. So off to German shoot. I finally started shooting at the universal carriers. So I've got 1 bailed out and 1 dead. So hopefully it won't go back in. Over here, I have got rid of the Churchill HQ unit, and all my Stugs are there. Hopefully not lining up for the M10s to kill them. And that is my turn. So now we're into British turn 7. So British turn, the Shermans have moved up. Unfortunately, that universal carrier didn't get back in, and then they failed their last stand, so then the HQ decided, since there was nothing left in their formation to command anyway, they'll just leave. The M10s have moved up to the crossroad, and what's left of the Churchills have hugged onto the objective. So I think it's going to be a bit of a bloody nose, although that tall terrain there is protecting some of these Stugs. So let's hope for the best. Again, British shooting has resulted in a bail by here and another bail over by here. So German turn 8. Let's see how this goes. German turn, I've successfully blitzed these Stugs to get a better line of shooting on the Shermans up here. 1 Stug did not get back in. The other Stug got back in over here, and they have successfully blitz moved, 2 of them being in the side armour of the Churchill. My HQ unit has not moved, and he will not shoot, so you can spot for artillery. German shooting results in no kills over here, but I did double bail the Churchill, but he is sticking around. So now we're on to the British turn. So British movement, these Shermans here have remained still, and he has crowded the objective with more Churchills, and the M10s are moving up to take out as many Stugs as possible, and on to the shooting. Again, British shooting achieved nothing. I failed to get that Stug in again, and I failed the blitz, so I've just tactical moved all the way to the edge of the terrain, so I still get concealment. Nothing has moved over here, and the STUHs have moved up, and will hopefully do some shooting on the M10s, onto shooting. Well guys, it finally happened. The objective achieved was no formations left, so that final platoon of Churchills succumbed to the fate of the 4 Stugs here. So all I was left in that formation is these 3. So obviously we'd go to the next turn, but they'd fail anyway. So we've called it a game, and to my opponent, well done.
I lost my nerve a little bit then.
Right, in summary, because of the amount of units I lost, I managed to achieve a minor victory. Bit gutted the Fallschchrimjager infantry didn't really do anything. I thought I was being really cheeky with my scouts going for that objective over there. Speaking to Rich, he's really enjoyed the game, just his second game of Flings of War. I think maybe in the future, as I advised him, to keep the M10s in ambush, but those Churchills were just way too hard to deal with. And I do miss not having anti-tank 14 for the Germans, but all in all a really good game, and I'll probably have to play Middle-earth strategy battle game with Richard next, so if any of you haven't watched that before, it's going to be a cracker. So hope you enjoyed. Remember, if you've noticed any rule queries, please mention them, and just positive criticism will be nice. So thanks for watching.